It's St. Louis.
Welcome to the A-Train Show. And now here's your host, the A-Train, Arlington Lane.
Yeah, true chatter. Yeah, I think it's time for more true chatter. Born every day, 100 new fake rappers. We got too many powers, too many.
Welcome to this edition of the A-Train Show, the A-Train Arlington Lane. It is Association Monday. And I want to thanks to our friends over at Just Meat Jerky, Dubby Energy Powder, True Victory Apparel, Macdougall Bats, Royal Retros, and our newest friend, Philip Johnson Salon Spa. As always, we broadcast live here on Facebook, on our YouTube channel, and you can always find us at fuelsportsnetwork.com. Man, Association Monday. Woo. I don't know. Cody, you tell me what's up.
What do you guys want to talk about?
I don't know, man. I don't know where to begin. Because there was action all over this weekend. People taking shots at one another and Hall of Famers picking their greatest of all time and a bout between rookies and vets on the basketball court. And man, it's just been so much going on in these last couple of days. Good grief, good grief, good grief. My goodness. Uh-oh. He's in the house. The Reverend Doctor is in the house once again, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man, we're going to have some good conversation today on Association Monday. The Rev is in.
What it do?
So, hey, man, some things have happened over the last 3 days or so, man. And it's, woo, I don't know where to begin. I got Cody, to jump on and say, hey, what you want to talk about? You know what? I want to start here first. I'm gonna start.
Where we start, man.
I'm gonna start here. Oh my goodness. Let's go here first. This is Stephen A. Smith, and he's talking to Magic Johnson. All right. Magic Johnson is making a comment about a certain young player in the NBA.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm going to pull that up, play that right now. Here we go.
Just said the other day that there really wasn't any skilled players in the NBA back in the day outside of Michael Jordan. That's what he said. Your response to that, Irvin Magic Johnson?
Well, I don't never respond to a guy that's never won a championship. There's not nothing to say. He didn't win a college championship. I don't know if he even won a high school championship. So,
okay. All right.
Yeah.
So this stems from. This stems from. I don't know this media. We'll see in a second. This stems from a. Are you throwing yourself in? Okay.
Yeah, I had to switch my connections.
The angle.
Yeah, I had to, my all of my connections was just really tripping. It's raining down here real bad, so everything everything is everything right now. But yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, and this is where that stemmed from. I'm about to pull up I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
All right.
Okay. It comes from this. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal on Tuesday, Anthony Edwards asked how his generation of basketball players competed to the ones that came before him. There he is. All right. And it says there, Edwards answered by boldly calling out those prior generations for lacking skill other than Hall of Fame guard Michael Jordan. And quote, I didn't watch it back in the day, so I can't speak on it. It was tougher back then than it is now. But I don't think anybody had skill back then. Michael Jordan was the only one that really had skill. You know what I mean? So that's why when they saw Kobe, they were like, oh my God. But now everybody has skill.
Yikes, young fella. Yikes, young fella.
Yikes.
Yeah, man. That's a big yikes.
What's going on, Amanda? Yeah. And so,
hey, Amanda, what's happening?
There's things to dissect from that statement that he made. So if you go on different sites, they all have different opinions on it. One was that, okay, yes, I understand Anthony Edwards is a guy, got a lot of confidence and stuff. And he also openly admitted he never really watched it.
He did.
And you got to understand from this point is he probably only saw Michael Jordan. And Anthony Edwards, when he came around, Michael was in his final years. He didn't even get to see Michael Jordan play at all. At all. So you had to go back to YouTube to watch it. You and I, we watched Michael Jordan play. I got to see a little bit of Magic. Got to see a little bit of Larry. You got to see him more than I did.
Yes, sir.
So you got a chance to understand and see the type of skill that these guys have had. Now,
yes, sir.
With Anthony Edwards saying that, you trying to sit back and also say that you can't speak on it, but you were speaking on it. You were speaking on it.
Yeah.
And you got to understand is that this group of guys is what propelled to where you are now. And so my thing is with this discourse, this disconnect between the old school and new school. A lot of times old school trying to hang on to what happened back in the day, you know, and they just hate being disrespected.
Yeah, for sure.
They just hate being disrespected. And at the same time, though, these new guys that's coming into the league, they do have a higher level of skill than what was back in the day. What's your thought on it? I can go on, but
I totally agree. I agree that the skill level is different. I don't say I can't. I mean, you look at who's shooting the ball. Who do we know has ever played the sport and shoots the ball like Steph? We know shooters. Reggie Miller. We know Ray Allen. We know. I mean, I know some that wasn't even recognized as great shooters that were great shooters. Dale Ellis. His own father, you know what I'm saying? Nick Anderson, like these are shooters. Like I know that played the game, that shot the ball very well. But my problem with the whole thing of it is that majority of the cats that's playing now, they mimic or pattern their game after somebody of the old, and if they did not, which is how you get better. You pattern yourself after somebody who's previously done it, right? And if they did not, then they are rare in the NBA. They're rare because majority of the guys have watched somebody develop their game. Kobe talks about when the conversation comes up, he talks about who's the GOAT between him and who's better here between him and Mike. And he says, there's no way I can compare the two because I patterned my game after Mike. So in order for me to be great, I had to have somebody as a staple or as a foundational place for me to be able to be like my game right now. I patterned myself after Penny Hardaway. I mean, that's who I was. That's who I played like. That's who I shoot like. Even though I was trained by Rolando Blackman, most people don't even know who that is. Played for the Dallas Mavericks. I was trained by Ro Blackman. Ro taught me that
dude was an all-star, man.
That form my form is Rolando Blackman. You look at how he shoot. My form is the same as Rolando Blackman because I sat in the gym with him for years, with him and Muggsy Bogues and Penny Hardaway and Larry Johnson and playing against Stacey Ogman and those guys. And I learned how to shoot the ball and pattern. And so, you know, you have to learn from somewhere. And what Ant is basically saying is that nobody had the skill level that he quote unquote has, or that the players we see now have, but they did. Before there was a John Morant, you had a Vince Carter, you had a J.R. Ryder, like you had a Jason Richardson that's flying off the cuff, like you. You understand? So it's people that was in the league that did what they did, with Ja being a small guy, a smaller guy. You had a Kevin Johnson, skying over people. You had a John Starks that's skying over people. Like you had these guys. So unfortunately, it makes it look a little arrogant, that you are not up on your knowledge enough to know who laid the foundation for you to even have the platform you have. So that's what I took from it.
Exactly. I love Anthony Edwards. I love his confidence. He reminds me a lot of Michael Jordan, a lot of it, and it's just mind blowing to see how his game has progressed. There was
Yep.
some truths of what Magic was saying. You haven't won a championship. Granted, you threw the shade at the kid. I don't think you really dislike the kid. You just don't want to be disrespected. And I get that. And you
Absolutely.
may not
No,
talk to
I
this
agree.
dude ever again in life. But at the
Yeah.
same time, man, it's like, y'all, the old school guys are holding on to what they had.
Let me say this. I think if you put the greatest at their prime old school team together, all-star game, just all-star starting five, who would your starting five be? Just all-star from your perspective, what would your starting five be? And then we'll take a look at maybe what's in the league now and put a starting five together and see what they match up. Because that's the best way you can be able to tell skill for skill.
Okay. Oh, since you were doing that, golly, you put me on the
I'll
spot.
put you on the spot. I know I'll put you on the spot, Doc.
You put me on the spot, man. Okay, it's gonna be difficult because I see so many lists all the time. You go on Facebook and you see all these freaking lists, and people, they put these pictures up all the time. I'm like, I don't even know where to start. Like, because the center one is a difficult position to even begin with. Like
Yeah, because
Shaq
my center,
King, David Robinson, Kareem. Come on, man. Like, that's hard. Okay, since you want to put me on the spot, Shaq and Penny will both be on this team. Michael Jordan will be on this team. Kobe Bryant, and I will have to put Kevin Durant on this squad.
okay, all right.
But that's not old school. Kevin ain't
But
old
no, I
school.
mean, I mean, but
He's
he's not
going
in the
to be.
league.
He's
He's not
going
in
to
the
be.
league right now. Yeah, he's not in the league. So
Okay, Kevin.
we
Kevin.
can take
Okay,
that.
he gotta be. He has to be out of the league. He's
Yeah,
got to be
like
out of the
old
league.
school would be somebody that's not playing right now.
Rodman would have to be the guy.
Man,
You know
listen.
what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm almost
man.
at the.
Like
I'm almost gonna have to swap Shaq for
you're
Hakeem,
gonna
man. I gotta swap Shaq for Hakeem, dude. And I don't care how bitter Shaq get, man, because Shaq is a bitter dude. Like, I'm talking about, if you don't put him high on list, he gonna let you know about it. But you gotta understand the finesse
it's
that
a
Hakeem
difficult.
Olajuwon had and the type of game
So
that.
let me say this. I probably wouldn't put Jordan and Kobe on the same team because you're getting you're getting two lethal guys. You can't. They're gonna butt heads. They're not gonna match. Like they're gonna want to score. Remember, these are two. I have to have the ball in my hand scores.
Alpha guys with the ball in their
Yeah,
hand.
so
Yeah.
you can't. That's gonna be explosion. I already you had that with Kobe and Shaq. So I don't think that would work out well. So my
Okay.
choice would probably be Magic at the point.
Okay.
I would probably, me personally, based on skill level, I probably would choose Kobe over Mike because Kobe will get to the rack. He can shoot midway. He can shoot 3-point. Like, so I would probably take Kobe in that position.
And it's
And,
enhanced. I always believe
yeah,
Kobe's game, it was Michael's
enhanced Mike.
enhanced.
Right. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Please continue.
I probably, and this is gonna sound weird, but I probably would grab either T Mac in at the 3, or I probably would go with Dirk Nowitzki. I would put Dirk at the 3 because he don't have to be on the box. I would put Dennis Rodman at the 4 and put Shaquille O'Neal at the 5, just to have the nucleus of the team.
Okay.
Because you need a rebounder, you need defense.
Yes.
You got all of that in all of them
Yes.
players. So
okay. What my thing is with the Dirk thing is, I know Dirk had skill, but Dirk did not have skills. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see Dirk dribbling much, and I know you don't have to have that as much. If that's the case, I'd have put Tim Duncan over Rodman.
So I thought about Tim. Putting Tim at the 3 versus Dirk. I thought about that, but I think I needed. It's too many players in the paint, so it would confuse. It would completely take away from, because mind you, we got to still go to the new school now. We still got to go to what's in the league right now, and having 3 bigs in there like that, I don't think that nucleus will work out. You need a 3 that can actually shoot, that can be a scorer slash, if I need to go down there, I will. I thought about Glenn Robinson. Like, it's Robert Horry. Like, I just thought about somebody that would be a strict shooter, because you got Magic, you got Kobe. That's already gonna be, bar none, hands down, spectacular on its own. You got Rodman and Shaq underneath. Pretty much done sealed the. You need somebody that's gonna shoot the ball, but can do both sides. Tim Duncan can do that, but I need a shooter. I need somebody that will be able to put the ball, that can do midway to outside, and you don't have to worry about. And he got height, so that's why I said Dirk.
Man, and I would have loved to see that matchup between Tim and Dirk. When they used to
Oh man.
That used to be amazing to watch. I'm telling you, man.
I was spinning between Hakeem and Shaq anyway. So you took Hakeem, so I just took Shaq. But yeah, that was my top. Automatic. It would, hands down, that team would have been dominant. And we can vice versa switch Kobe and Jordan. So I would do that just because that they intertwine. But Kobe kind of enhanced that. So, but then, like, let's go to the squad now. So who would you choose?
Okay. If I had to do the squad now, you looking at a LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you looking at a Kevin Durant, you looking at a Steph Curry, and you looking at wow. See, and here's the thing, it's just 5 I need to put out there.
Exactly.
I gotta go with Jason Tatum. I gotta go with Jason Tatum on that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Because it's
I don't know, man.
Those guys. It's they skill to me.
So at one, I probably, at the point guard position for me. Oh shucks, I'm lost.
Because hey, you know what? If you want to
No, it's got to be Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
I would do Kyrie.
Let's go.
Steph at 2.
This is good.
I would do Steph at 2. Okay. I would either do Kevin Durant at 3, or I would do Anthony Davis. I'll do Ant at 4 at 3. I would do Ant at 3. I probably would do Nikola Jokic at 4 and Anthony Davis at 5.
That's crazy. So who was the third?
No Anthony Davis. No Anthony Davis. Take Anthony all the way out. I will probably put either. Nope. I Giannis at 5. Giannis, Nikola Jokic, Ant-Man, Steph, and Kyrie. Whew.
This is the A Train show here on Fuel Sports Network. We are getting in on the conversation. I got another special guest that is ready to chime in and jump in on this conversation. He is the host of the Gridiron, and then you can catch him on Saturdays with that. You can also catch him on Thursday with the Gridiron. And and I think he's doing this because he heard the conversation.
He heard the conversation.
He won't in on this. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Jersey the King himself. What's good, brother? Oh, he got his king hat on too.
I got my crown on today. What's going on, y'all?
What
the king is in the building. You know, Deacon King is here. All right, I done stepped into the pulpit.
That's me.
And it's my turn. Well, there could be multiple deacons, sir. Okay,
you're right.
There could be multiple deacons. You know what I mean? The pastor need all the help he can get. You know, he can't do every sermon by himself.
I do need some help. You coming in to help us, brother?
Yes, because I agree in a way with you. I just couldn't put Steph at 2 and Kyrie at 1. I'd put Kyrie at 2. Because of his ball handling. Yes, Steph Curry is a great point guard. Steph Curry is one of those point guards who will come down the court and he'll look for the pass first.
I understand. Lying. No, I understand that. So, that's Kyrie too, though.
If you have, but Kyrie is a better ball handler. No, it's not. No, this is an actual crown. It's plastic, but you know, I got my cubic zirconias in here. You know, don't be hating. Don't be hating. All right, Sabrina, don't be hating on the crown.
I love it.
It's good enough.
I love it.
When I get that $1 million crown made, I don't want to hear nothing. That thing gonna be sparkling. They're gonna be like, "Oh, he a fool." No, but I would honestly put Kyrie at 2. I'd put Steph at 1. I'd leave Ant-Man at 3. I'm sorry, I rock with Nikola Jokic, but I put Giannis at 4 and Embiid at 5. You left Embiid all the way out.
Yes, I heard that.
I did, but I had to balance it because you got to consider if we got Nikola Jokic, I don't need no other big man scorer. You got to consider he's going to go against Shaquille O'Neal. Like, so if you had to have that matchup ain't gonna be good.
Shaq's gonna dominate Nikola Jokic.
Shaq's gonna dominate any big you put down there against him.
No. I put Giannis down there. Remember, I put Giannis.
Listen,
and you talking about length. Now I give you to your body.
The man of steel. I mean, we're talking about the man of steel. We're talking about
Hakeem was able to slow him down a little bit.
He was young then. He was skinny then. He wasn't as big.
But that's what we're talking about. We're talking about at their primes, putting a prime old school versus a prime new school. Who would you put up against each other?
Well, Anthony Edwards can't be prime yet because he ain't even close to it.
Yeah,
close to his prime yet.
I don't know. He showed me something. He showed me something in the playoffs.
You're saying he's not right. You're saying he's not close to his prime, but look what he's doing.
He's not there.
So if I had
he don't have to be there.
But if I had,
he don't have to be there.
But if I had to replace him, it would be Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not on my team, I'm definitely putting Jason Tatum on that team because they will.
I agree.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Absolutely, I get that. All right, we have been
or KD in his prime.
And you know something? I'm glad you're here. So glad you're here. So glad.
I was so close. I was so close to putting him on there. I'm
so glad you're here, down here, sir. Because the next topic I'm going to throw in real quick. It happened. It happened on yesterday, and I just want to get your thoughts to this. This is from the Chicago Sky versus Las Vegas Aces. Take
a tip. Gray will take it out. 1.1, looking for Wilson to put it up. Beats the clock. Asia, the game winner.
I have questions. I have questions for that. Listen, I have questions. First of all,
Count it.
what in the world is Angel Reese doing?
Getting
How
boxed out
can
by
you-
Kelsey Plum Dog.
Why? Why? Why are you getting boxed out by a woman 5'7"? Boxed out,
I can answer
clearly
that.
moving.
I
5'7".
can answer
You're
that.
6'2", 6'3".
Kelsey
Asia,
Plum made a smart decision. Listen, play it again and watch who Kelsey Plum actually boxes out, which boxed out Angel Reese. Play it again. Play it again and watch.
We're gonna all look at it.
Gray will take
Watch
it out.
Angel Reese
1.1,
and where she's
looking
actually
for
at.
Wilson to put it up. Beats
No,
the
you got to replay it from the beginning.
Asia,
You got to replay it from the beginning.
I'm gonna have to, yeah, of course I'm gonna play it from the beginning. I want you to see.
No, but I'm saying to see what I'm talking about. Kelsey Plum didn't box out Angel Reese. Kelsey Plum boxed out Cordosa, which in a way blocked off Angel Reese.
Gray
Watch
will
it again.
take it out. 1.1, looking
Or
for
not
Wilson
Cordosa.
to put it up.
Not Cordosa, but not
But they
Cordosa,
did.
but the young lady, the young lady that just was going off at the 3-point line. If the one that faded off to the left, she initially got boxed out by Kelsey Plum, which Angel Reese wasn't paying attention to that. She was just crashing the boards to try and, or not really crashing the boards, but Kelsey Plum initially boxed out old girl, and Angel Reese
Play it
got
again.
caught up in that box out.
I'm gonna play it again.
Angel
Yeah,
Reese
so you
got
see
caught up in that
I
box
want you to
out.
watch Angel Reese. Angel Reese was over there.
Boom.
And look,
Oh yeah,
how in the
that was
world
just
you
bad.
get
You see what I'm
You get
saying?
caught.
She wasn't paying attention, and she got caught up in that box out because she was watching the ball and not watching Asia Wilson.
How you not watching
Kelsey Plum.
Asia Wilson?
Because Kelsey Plum was right there. Boom, boom.
So,
Kelsey Plum comes around.
No, she thought she was gonna
had
make that.
Angel bit on the fake to Kelsey Plum. Angel thought that Kelsey was going to run that little screen and pop, not that screen and stay. She didn't do a screen and roll. She didn't do a screen and pop. She did a screen and stay because Asia was coming around. Boom. There it is.
Why didn't Cardoso?
And she didn't even switch. She didn't even switch either. She just basically stayed there. So yeah,
I'm also looking at Cardoso at the inbounder. She's guarding the inbounder. Now, I had a person come to me in a group saying, I blame Cardoso because why is she the tallest girl on the court inbounding the ball? She's trying to move away the vision and trying to not get a pass. And Gray was able to make a perfect pass.
absolutely.
It was on the money. Because when
it
Asia
comes to
got
passing
to the ball, she
Chelsea,
knew exactly
listen,
what to do with it.
because they practice that play all the time in practice. And
of course
Chelsea
you
Gray
have to.
is the inbounder. But no, this is my thing though. People are blaming Cordosa. We can't blame Cordosa. Blame the coach. Because the coach put Cordosa out there. We got to blame Teaspoon if you're going to blame anybody for that mistake, because in my eyes, that was a mistake. You don't need your tallest player out there to block the vision. Trust me, you don't. We've all seen it in the NBA and in the W. You can have a person out there that's 6 foot, and all they got to do is this. And they do that good enough, you can block the vision and disrupt passes. Heck, you could make the pass go off your leg, and they got to reset. And that gives your team a chance to reset. But now you know you've got that pressure. You should have had Cordosa and Reese down in the paint to where it would have been harder for Asia Wilson to make that play. Now,
Man,
old girl who got initially boxed out, right?
That was just bad rotation.
Should have been in on the sideline. She should have been covering the inbounder, because then you have Cordosa and Angel Reese, and Cordosa was going crazy last night. She had a lot of blocks against Asia Wilson. So why don't you put her down in the paint with Angel Reese, who's been helping dominate the paint against Asia Wilson the whole game? That was a bad move on T Witherspoon. I'm sorry.
I did say it was Chicago fall initially, but I was looking at Angel Reese, and like you said, she put her eye on the ball instead of Asia Wilson. And because you didn't look at Asia Wilson was like, okay, Kelsey did that a lot of people called that was a legal screen. Okay, fine. But it's in the final seconds. They're not going to call it unless it was just
They're not
fully blatant.
Blatant. Right.
Like
she 185 pounds. you ain't finna just go up an illegal screen, Angel Reese, and she's 210.
But that's the thing though. It could have worked. Angel just basically froze. She didn't bother to try to roll with her or nothing. She just froze because there wasn't a pick at all. She just stood beside her and just made her freeze. And that's and that was a whole mistake. That was just a whole mistake.
In 2K, we call that ball watching. She was ball watching instead of play. No, really, she was ball watching instead of player watching. It's the same thing. It's like it's like in real basketball, and I'm saying this because I'm comparing it to a video game. In real basketball, you're controlling yourself, right? So if you standing there looking at the ball and not paying attention to the player you're guarding, ball watching.
At least
you got beat for ball watching.
If you play watching,
exactly.
You put your hand up.
Exactly.
Going because you mean it may hit you anywhere. So that way it causes a deflection,
and
it would have been an overtime.
But then here's the other thing.
You could honestly see my bad, Pastor, but you could actually see Angel Reese's eyes go look at the ball.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing though. You got to consider she probably was under the impression or thinking, hey, they're gonna stop her. And you got to remember that all of them girls are smaller. They're little compared to Asia. And so when she turns and gets the ball, it's a wrap because everybody, if you look at the video, everybody's beneath her. So all it takes is just right over her head. It's done. Watch, look at all of them. They are all length. Underneath. Ain't no length.
Yeah,
there's no length down there. Angel. Except for Angel, and Angel got
she's
froze.
Too far away. She's too far away to actually make a stop. So either way, you were going to be looking at an and one or a foul, and Asia Wilson still in the game at the line.
Yeah.
Period. She's the best player in the world, like Kennedy Carter said. When they asked her, about containing Asia Wilson, she said, we know what Asia Wilson, this is at the end of the third quarter. She said, we know what Asia Wilson is capable of, and she turns it up in the fourth. And what did she do in the fourth? She turned it up and they couldn't contain her.
Yeah.
But they really couldn't contain her the whole game. She had the first, if I'm not mistaken, she had the first 11 points for the Aces in the game. And we shot horrible from the three. Megan Gustafson made 3 3-pointers that were key in the game when everybody else couldn't hit a three for nothing. Jackie Young didn't even score. But that just goes to show you that Asia Wilson is the best player in the world when it comes to women's basketball. There's nobody better than her. I don't care who you put up on a list. Right now, nobody is better than Asia Wilson. Tell me otherwise. And show me footage. Show me stats. Show me anything. She's playing a MVP season without breaking a sweat. And when I say that, she's not trying hard. She's averaging 28 points a game. And it's just another day at the office for her, like Kelsey Plum said. It's just another day at the office for Asia Wilson to get 28 points and 10 rebounds.
They're making the Aces work hard this year. And the reason why I say that is because of their record right now. It's sitting at 17-11. I think they're the fourth or fifth spot sitting right now. 18-11. They're sitting in the middle of the pack. And this is going for number 3. Now it'd be different if they were like 26-3, 25-4, and that's when you say they're coasting. That's when you say this is another day at the office. I get the stat sheet. What you're saying. This woman's working. You want to know why? Because she had some comments. I wish I can play them, but she had some comments during the game about officiating. And she even said to herself during the game, I don't care if I get fined. This is a case where you're working because now you want that three-peat. You want that. You want to be a part of history. You want to be a part of the same realm as the Houston Comets were when they started with the WNBA. It hasn't been a 3-time winner back to back since then. So this is historic, is where we're headed. But she's working hard. She's breaking a sweat because she wants it. And granted, it's not going the way that you would expect it to go. You get what I'm saying?
Because you can't just take one player.
Exactly.
That's the thing. There hasn't been consistency by every other player like there was the last 2 seasons. You got to remember the last 2 seasons, Asia Wilson had consistent help. You had Candace Parker, you had Kelsey Plum, you had Chelsea Gray, you had all these players that were making noise on top of what Asia Wilson is doing this season. And everybody has to also understand the talent compared to the WNBA back in the Houston Comets run, because they won 4 in a row. But that was at the very beginning of the WNBA's inception. You know what I mean? On top of that, the talent wasn't in the W. That the talent in the W back in the day of its inception isn't as good as the talent is now. It's evolved. We can honestly say that these women have gotten better. So it's definitely going to be harder for the Aces to win 3 in a row. I expected a tough season because our defense was lackluster going into the season. And it's shown that it's not all the way where it needs to be. We don't have championship caliber defense right now. I'm just keeping it real. The Aces do not have, or they're at least not playing championship caliber defense. And that's hurting us in these 11 losses. Because honestly, if you look at these 11 losses, all of them have been because of our lack of defensive play. Period.
All right, sir. Hey, I'm gonna have to get you. I have to get you going, man, because we're gonna have to wrap this bad boy up in a little bit too, man, because we got some stuff we got to discuss. And you know I want to keep you on, man. You already know how I feel, dog. So before you go, tell everybody, all the listeners, all the watchers, where they can catch your show, man.
You can catch the Jersey the King show every Thursday night right here on Fuel Sports Network at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 Central, 8 p.m. Pacific. And of course, you can catch the Gridiron with myself, Gabriel Garcia, and a plethora of guest hosts on occasion every Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Central. You can catch me on X at the JTK Show. Facebook, you can subscribe at the Jersey the King Show. Facebook, the Jersey the King Show. And on IG, the JTK Show. So there you go.
All right, sir. All right, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you, because you good for this basketball debate, man. You keeping us going on with what's going on in women's sports, especially WNBA with
Yes,
Aces,
sir.
and I appreciate that a lot from you, man. Keep doing your thing, okay?
Yes, sir. I will catch y'all later.
All right, sir.
Peace out, Pastor.
Right,
AKA Other Deacon. Other Deacon,
on,
okay?
Thank you.
I love y'all, boys. Have a great rest of the show. Peace
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. All right, that is JTK, ladies and gentlemen, getting his I love his spirited conversation when we had, and I knew he was gonna get in with that, especially with that in particular, man. It was gonna be cool. All right, let's move forward as we digging in with the A-Train show right here on Fuel Sports Network. All right. We got to talk about wrestling. It was the last 20 minutes of the program. One thing happened at All In London, and take a look at it right now.
Almost stepping over the line there. Let's just lay out. Introducing next. I don't believe what I'm saying. We've heard the rumors.
Yep, there he is. You saw him. All In.
Yeah. There
he was.
Man, we're losing them all, man. We're losing all the good
Listen, situations have come. If you look at his situation in WWE, there really wasn't a lot for him that was going to work, you know. And he got to find a better spot for yourself. You know what I mean? I know TNA would have been good for him. TNA would have been great to see him there, but AEW is a good spot for him. And from what I heard, I missed it because I had to work, but All In was really good. And so they had a great pay-per-view in London. The title versus career match I heard was very well done with Swerve Strickland and Bryan Danielson. It was title versus career, and career won in this case. Bryan Danielson, the new AEW World Champion. Will Ospreay is gets the championship back off of MJF, the international championship.
Boo.
You hate Will Ospreay, man?
I'm big on MJF, so you know.
Oh,
I'm a big MJF fan.
Got you. Yeah, you know what? He is one of the best heels in the business. I hate to even put it in this realm that Dominic Mysterio has surpassed him as best heel in wrestling right now.
I agree. I agree slightly, because man, you get it. You now. Let me say this: put MJF in WWE, and let's see what that look like.
I'm telling you, it's what CM Punk said to him on AEW. You ain't nothing but a low rent Miz, and that's what it's gonna lead to. And it's not gonna be pretty. It's not gonna be pretty.
It's not gonna be pretty at all.
It's not gonna be.
I
pretty,
like MJF, man. I think he's gonna be. I think he'll be pretty dope in WWE if they ever. I know he just re-signed his contract at the beginning of the year, so we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next few years.
And judging from the matches, I mean, it was a big card, you know. I look at All In now the way that they do SummerSlam.
Yeah,
in WWE, and some of the results were from the AEW's All In. Mariah May is now the new AEW Women's World Champion. Hook won the FTW Championship off Chris Jericho. Christian Cage is now the new #1 contender for Bryan Danielson's AEW Championship. Jack Perry retains the AEW TNT Championship, and Mercedes Moné retains the TBS Championship. Those are some of the notables from that particular card. And that's good that they are able to have some success despite, you know, some things going on behind the scenes at AEW. Always good to have something special like an All In, and going into, they do All Out next month right after that, so in Chicago. So going to be interesting to see how well they go as the year progresses, and hopefully they can build off of the success they had from All In.
Yes, sir.
It's always, like I said, it's always good to see when they're doing some progress. I just the shade you can remove, man. You're your own entity. That's how I felt like with the XFL and UFL. Like they should have been their own entity against the NFL, but you're not going up against the NFL per se.
Right.
That's how I feel about AEW. But yeah, good to see that happen. All right. The other thing,
my girl,
your girl, Jada Parker.
That's all I want to talk about.
You want to Jada Parker? You want to talk about
Jada
Parker?
You're my girl.
And NXT No Mercy is it's this Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Bash in Berlin on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Try to catch that, you know, when you can on Peacock both days.
#1 contender. She's the #1 contender. Let's go.
Can she snatch Roxanne Perez's championship, man?
Let's snatch it off of her. She's about. I'm telling you, it's about to go down, bro.
Okay.
I've been telling you, it's her time. It's her time. They wanted to give it to Nikita Lyons. Nikita Lyons keep getting injured, so you got to give it to Jada Parker. Let Parker run through it for a while, and then you give it to Solo. You give it to what's her name? Sola. What's that girl name? Ruka. Ruka. Yeah, you give it to Ruka, or you give it to Lola Vice. You give it to one of them. But right now, it's JP time. That's all I want to say. Give it to Jada Parker.
All right.
Hey, Miss Parker.
You gonna get in trouble, dude. You're gonna get in trouble. Anyway, so if you haven't caught this past week, John Cena was on the Shannon Sharp podcast, Club Shay Shay. and they were talking about, who would be WWE's GOAT. Shannon had mentioned about Triple H saying that Cena was the GOAT, Ric Flair saying that Shawn Michaels was his GOAT. But here is who John Cena picked as his GOAT.
Yep.
Business side.
Yes.
And I don't think there's a better breathing example of what's the best the business has ever been than Roman Reigns.
Okay.
And it's amazing that I'm saying a still active talent with years in front of him is the greatest of all time.
Wow.
But he's been in it since 2012. I had to work my way up. I started on the bench and then got onto the Saturday program and then just lost every match. He came in with the Shield in a really high level spot and never wavered. Even when the fans didn't like him, he was still in a main event spot. He's been in a main event lens for over a decade now, and he's brought through his clock, and you could say whatever force has helped it. But in 2012, the stock was trading at $11. WWE or TKO stock's now at 117.
Wow.
That's on his shoulders. There isn't a better indication of, and I know it's a team effort. Nobody does it alone. But like when you say, hey, that to me is like, that's some serious shit.
Yeah,
and for me, I got to give her respect where respect is due. And Joe's smart, passionate about the business, multi-generational athlete, has respect for his family, has respect for the locker room, has respect for the business. He's a very, very smart performer and somebody I respect. He would be my greatest of all.
There you go. That's the club Shay Shay. That is John Cena's thoughts on his greatest of all time. Well, sir.
Yeah.
Can you go on and say who is your GOAT of WWE? Because
my GOAT is going to be the same. My GOAT is going to be the same. Roman Reigns is the GOAT of right now, but my GOAT, man, is going to always be Stone Cold Steve Austin. We don't have the Monday Night War. We don't win the Monday Night Wars without Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, Undertaker. We don't win them without DX. We don't win them
showing
up
at WCW. Showing up.
We don't win them. But all of that rode on Stone Cold, because you remember when Stone Cold made that turn and he did that at King of the Ring and had that moment where he was like, yo, this is about to change. I'm, Austin 316, I just whooped you, it did something to the arena. And then from that point on, remember, Triple H wasn't Triple H. He was Hunter Hearst Helmsley. They remember The Rock was just coming out of being Rocky Maivia to being The Rock. So all of these battles start coming out on the hem of Stone Cold. And when Stone Cold started doing that bad stuff, and then you had DX at the same time that it was going on, he would be my all-time. I think you can run several shows on Stone Cold. If you had a healthy Stone Cold going against a healthy right now Roman Reigns, who you pick? Stone Cold going down with me. I'm telling you.
Hey, I can pick neither as my GOAT.
Okay, who you got?
You have to understand what Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson did alongside Stone Cold. You mentioned it. The Attitude Era when that kicked off. 97 when he started becoming The Rock. He was Rocky Maivia in 96. And shout out to Danny Garcia, because Danny Garcia is what helped propel this Rock character that we all know and love, right? So here's my thing with that. The Rock has, he was the most marketable out that group. And that's what transcended the money, the finances, the stocks. I understand where Cena was coming from, that, it was $11 and whatnot. Think about it. Before that, it was probably lower than that because they weren't a tiered group. So it had to grow as it progressed. And that Attitude Era transcended every wrestler. The other, and I wish I wanted to say the Undertaker because of how the
Me too.
comparison
Me
with the
too.
Undertaker, man. Listen. Let me tell you
Me
something,
too.
man. I
Me
can't sit
too. But
here and just throw
they
him
screwed
up.
it up, man.
I can't sit here and just throw him out like he was nothing, like he was a consistent basis for 20 years, 20 plus years, man. And like how he was able to perform. He did 3.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, and this is why I have the problem is that I think the Attitude Era as a whole was the GOAT. I think that's the GOAT for me, is the whole Attitude Era, because you can spit and pretty much every last wrestler you came across almost took the realms of the wrestling arena and just took over. You basically could do that. But I think my thing, and I have so many others, man, that I could really go, well, he's the GOAT. Well, he's the GOAT. And I think when we talk about GOAT status in NBA, in football, or in basketball, or in wrestling, you got to consider something. We only considering them GOATs based on era. Because what would make Roman Reigns the GOAT if he don't have as many championships? Do you feel what I'm saying? So the GOAT debate in basketball is not between Wilt Chamberlain and not between you know what I'm saying, people, Kareem that has excelled in certain areas. We're not talking about the GOAT of all time. We're talking about the greatest of an era. So
that's why
and
I
I think
switched it up. As you can see at the bottom, it says, "Who is your GOAT of WWE?" And you say, "Yeah, that doesn't spell GOAT." Great, GOTE stands for greatest of this era.
Absolutely.
We need to start using that a little bit
That's
more.
what we need to use.
We need to start
I
using
agree.
that, because the term greatest of all time is used so loosely, and it's used so
Wrong.
exactly, and it leads to disrespect in a lot of
Absolutely.
forms. So you would need to sit here whenever you're having conversations with your foes about greatest of all time, throw that out and please use greatest of this era. The eras that you have lived in, the eras that you have seen this stuff,
That's
and
right.
you can use that as
That's right.
as your argument, because
I
it's
agree.
difficult. It's difficult to
agree.
have that. If you want to say greatest of this era right now, it's Roman Reigns.
It's Roman Reigns.
Easy.
Absolutely. Hands
Easy.
down. Hands down. But you
If
can't
you
say
wanna
that in
go,
the last era, because I was about to say it could have landed on anybody. Like it's so you had Brock, you still had Brock. Like who throws Brock's career out of the door? This dude was smashing people from the beginning. Like who throws Shawn Michaels out the door? Like Bret Hart. You talking about people that actually took. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to deal with. The Attitude Era for me was like the greatest era of all time in wrestling.
when Cena went away and when Roman was making his way back, the person that saved the company the biggest was Brock Lesnar. And was Brock Lesnar. And people have like slightly forgotten that. Like he was money making. The minute you heard his music, and everybody was on that. Even if you didn't want to see him, the fact that he was able to react to it and let you know that's what they was doing.
Yep.
And heel Brock, the best Brock of all. Even when he got back with Paul Heyman the second time around. Oh man, when he beat John Cena at SummerSlam for the WWE title, just going to Suplex City all by himself.
When the way he handled Goldberg, I was like, yo, greatest of all time. Like, but I mean, my thing of it is, and I agree with you. I think we need to start talking about the greatest of the era, because every era has greatness in it. Mike is the greatest of his era. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even though you had a Magic and you had a Kareem and you had Isaiah Thomas and Larry Bird, he's the greatest of his era. But then you get into the 90s, 2000s, you have to give it to Kobe. Like who else would have taken over the reins of the NBA? It's Kobe Bryant.
it was for Penny and Grant Hill to take, but injuries took them.
Absolutely.
You had to bring in this 18-year-old. Hey, when an 18-year-old makes an all-star game, or a 19-year-old makes an all-star game, it's pretty prolific when you hear about it. You know what I mean? And and for him to win a championship at 22 years of age, you know, with Shaq, and granted, got some help with it, but at the same time, you saw his star breaking through the way that it did, man. And you know, yeah, his birthday was just 3 days. His heavenly birthday was just 3 days ago. So yeah, you know, he would have been 46. And it was just real shocking.
And now we got LeBron. So LeBron is the next thing right now.
And you can sit back and a lot of people want to throw Kevin Durant in that list, Steph Curry, whatever. Fine. LeBron is what transcended the game over the last 20 years.
Exactly.
You know, it's like an extra turn up. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Jordan did it with the 90s. Kobe did it in the 2000s. 2010, LeBron came in and did that thing. You know what I mean? And
so who will be the one now? Because you talking about Ant-Man being the next face. My all-time guy would have been John Morant, because I thought he was gonna come in and smash the dog out of everybody. But of course, all
the personal stuff kicked in. Yeah. So
yeah.
He still can be that guy.
Because that dude game is nice.
Gotta see it to believe it, man, because it's going to be interesting to see where they go with this next wave of players. You know, Victor Wembanyama is in there now, and you look at a Joel Embiid, a Giannis, a Nikola Jokic. You're looking at a foreign bred NBA. So yeah. It's gonna get interesting, man. It could be somebody foreign, man. Like Anthony Edwards did surpass John Morant, at least from his last couple of years, man. Thanks to John Morant sitting out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But when that boy come back, it's gonna be
and I'm hoping that he does. He need to take his spot back because
me too, man.
That's his, and you know, keep your people on ice, man. That's all I can say, dude. You trying to make money and get championships, man. So you can get Hall of Fame status. That's what it's all about, man.
Be the next AI, a level up. You know, another leveled up AI, because that's basically what I saw him, man. I was like, that's another AI doc, because he killer.
He sure is, man.
He
all right,
killer,
y'all.
Man.
That the A Train show, boy. We had to get it in really quick. We didn't even get what we wanted to talk about, but that's okay.
Right.
We got Friday for that.
Yes, sir.
Friday for that, because the Bash in Berlin and No Mercy. We're gonna see what's gonna happen on Raw and NXT the next couple of nights, and get you ready for SmackDown on Friday night before it jumps off in Berlin. All right, Pastor. Anything you gotta say before we head out?
Y'all just ignore Hulk Hogan. He's high. He was high. That's all I got. Man, I can't wait to see what Friday gonna bring. Let's go.
All right. Pastor the Deke, thanks to JTK popping in and doing his thing. We'll catch you on Friday for another edition of the A Train Show. Friday. Wednesday, I think I'm gonna do a quick 30 minutes. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. I'm keeping it.
I might dip in. I'm gonna see what's up.
All right. We'll see. Come noon.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Take care, y'all.
Peace.